Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this one we're going to go over the NBA for February 8th. And as you can see, the opening odds are on the screen. We will go over the current ones in a moment. The current ones, we're going to go over to FanDuel for that. But we're focusing on the opening odds here on OddsShark. And as you can see, the odds are on the screen. We're going to go over the splits as well. And without further ado, let's get started. All right, we'll start here. Currently, Houston money line plus 168. This is early Saturday morning. Plus 168. Underdog on the money line, minus 200 for the Dallas Mavericks. And in this game, this is the first game of the day. 4.5 point favorites are the Mavericks at minus 112 cost on the spread. 4.5 point underdogs are the Rockets at minus 108 cost. And the total over under is at 226.5, 226.5, minus 110 even on the totals, the cost that is. And yeah, let's see where we started. All right, Dallas minus 175 opening, increased to minus 200, and so did their money, 54%. This went up from about 49% a couple hours ago, as well as their odds on the money line, minus 200. I wonder if this is the first game Anthony Davis is going to play. I think this is the first game Anthony Davis is going to play, which is why the Mavericks are this big of a favorite in this game over the Houston Rockets at home. And yeah, as far as the money line, this increased. Dallas should be a safe pick at home as long as this stays around 200 and definitely increases in its respective direction, that is. Let's say it goes to minus 210, minus 220. May not go that high, but may go to around minus 210. Even if it goes to around minus 195, Mavericks may still be a safe pick in this game, and they're still getting more of the money, especially they're getting 84% of the betting right here. And yeah, so look out for the Mavericks on the money line. That's currently, though. This is just currently. It may change upon just before tip off. May change. Watch how these odds adjust. Watch how these splits adjust. And yeah, let's go over the spread. 4.5 points, minus 112. That's one of the sweet spots. Doesn't hit as much as the minus 105s or the minus 120s, but that minus 112 hits more than the minus 108 normally. Not all the time, normally. Nothing's 100%. Minus 4.5 spread, 4.5 point spread. Mavericks are favored there. 59% of the money, 57% of the betting going in their favor. May be a very, very, very close game. Maybe a very close game. If you were to bet Dallas on the money line, another safe pick, Houston would be a safer pick on the spread in this game. But as it currently stands, Mavericks almost getting 60% of the money. 6 out of 10 of the money. Okay, look out for the Mavericks, but the Houston is a safe pick, the safer pick. But look out for the Mavericks on the spread. Over under 226.5. Over is getting dominating. 89% of the money, 88% of the betting. And hold on. Where's the okay, right here. minus 110 cost on the even. Still even. Not much to go by there when it's even, but over is getting 89%. In this case, I would join the public as it currently stands. If this goes to minus 115, either one, minus 115, minus 105, look to bet that minus 105. But I would join the public in this one and go with the over. Indiana versus Pacers versus LA Lakers. All right, minus 168 currently on the money line are the Pacers. Plus 142 currently are the Pacers. Plus 142 are the Lakers. Pacers, Lakers. Okay. Excuse me on that one. Minus 168. Now, in this one, the Pacers started off as a underdog on the opening. As you can see here, they started as a dog on the opening. Plus 138. Plus 138 to minus 164. And naturally, that was going to happen. Lakers just traded for Luka. And naturally, that was going to happen. So the Lakers were favored pretty much in every game since that Luka trade. And currently, they are minus 168. They have gone up from this minus 155 earlier. So Indiana's an even bigger favorite now. Lakers are plus 142. Dog in this one. Let's see where the splits are. All right. Where are we at? Over under. 91% going over, even, betting and money. 91% going with the over. Over is at 231 and minus 110 cost. Spread is at 4. With the Lakers as a dog getting the minus 112 sweet spot. All right. As far as they're getting 83% of the money here, the Lakers, on the money line. People looking to cash this out. People looking to cash this out. And as you can see, this has changed. Once in real time. This is in real time. Minus 166. Pace has gone down by 2. And, well, so did the Lakers. Went down by 2. That's dangerous. Let me tell you why. This plus 142. Let's say the Lakers are getting most of the money. People looking to cash this out. Lakers decrease to plus 130. Let's say they go down to plus 130. Pacers go to minus 1. Let's say minus 1. They're going to go down to minus 160. 160. Minus 160, minus 162 to plus 130, something like that. Maybe even minus 158. They go approach this minus 130. Think about LA equals 13 in gematria. LA equals 13. All right. They go to plus 130. That's where it gets dangerous. As you can see, the odds change real time for the Mavericks as well. And they changed again. They changed twice in the last 2 seconds. But yeah, they approach that plus 130 at this 83%, 81% of the betting. Lakers may be a safe pick at home in this one. But do not sleep on the favorite Pacers, because people looking to cash this out right here. But as long as the Lakers go down in value to the public, Lakers would be the more knowledgeable pick in this one. 231. Used to be 230.5. Went up. I would go with the, let's see, 230. I'll say Pacers have a potent offense. I would actually join the public in this one as well. Go with the over as it currently stands. And the odds just went up because they probably want you to bet the under. Want more people to bet the under. So the odds went up. Join the public and go with the over. Spread. I would go with the Lakers. The Lakers are the safe pick and they're at that minus 112 sweet spot. I would go with the Lakers for sure on the spread. Now the money line. Wait to see how the Lakers odds adjust. Just focus on the Lakers. Goes down to plus 130 or even lower. Bet the Lakers at the much higher, over 80%. All right, San Antonio versus Orlando, plus 126 for the Spurs and minus 148 for the Magic. Plus 126 for the Spurs, minus 148 for the Magic. Where did they start? Minus 120 plus 100 even for Orlando. Minus 120 for the Spurs. Plus 100 for the Magic. All right. They went from minus 120 to plus 126. Minus 148 for the Magic at home. Let's see where the money is going. Let's scroll down a little bit. All right. 45% going with the Orlando, the Magic in this one. 55% of the money that is. 55% of the money going in San Antonio's favor. This is another game people looking to cash out. plus 126, and it's not very high either, which makes them a decent pick to bet on. I would highly recommend going with the Spurs just because this is a little cash out here. Now watch that minus 150. Y'all know about that minus 150 sweet spot with the money line, especially in the NBA. They're at minus 148 currently, the Magic are. But as it currently stands, I would go at San Antonio, but watch out for Magic if they go over minus 150 and they're getting less than, they're getting the lesser end of the money on the money line. Now, the spread is not that high, only 2.5 points. So basically, almost what you would go with on the money line, you would go with on the spread. Minus 110 even. And where they get you like a 2-point game, 1-point game, that happens. Minus 2.5 are the Magic favorite. Now, let's see where the money is there. 54% going with Orlando. Only 33% of the betting, though. So people betting highly on Orlando at home. And if you pick the Spurs, you have to pick them on the spread. So I'll say in this game, whoever you pick on the money line, you would pick on the spread. Right now, the Spurs look like the safer pick. They are low on the in odds, and plus 126 on the money line. Even DraftKings has them at plus 126 as well. So does FanDuel. So just keep that in mind if you choose to bet this one. Spurs look like they could take it at home. Over under is at take it on the road, that is. Over 218.5 is the total. Minus 110 cost. Let's see where the money's going there. Under is getting a massive amount. And a lot of people betting the under. 218.5. This is going to be one of those games that are going to teeter around that 220, maybe 215 area. A lot of people betting the under currently. I'm going to tell you now, when the sharps go in, the sharps are the heavy bettors. They're going to bet the over. I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to bet the over. For sure. With most of these people betting the under at 84%, not many people betting that over. But in this one, once again, with such a low total, this is going to flip. This is going to be a little more 50-50 come tip-off time. That's going to be a more 50-50. And I would go with the under. Currently join the public in that one. All right, Atlanta versus Washington. Let's scroll down. Once again, this is still early in the day. These odds will adjust, and I'm just trying to teach you how these things adjust based on the splits of where the money is going. And the splits I have here are from SBD, and they are based off global sportsbook averages. All right, minus 198 are the Hawks right here. Minus 198 are the Hawks, plus 166 underdog are the Wizards. And let's see where they started. Minus 263 to plus 210. Now, when a team starts at positive 210, they win more so than not. Even if, since they're a dog. When they start at plus 210, they win more so than not on the opening odds. And that's why I say you have to give Washington a fighting chance in this game against the team. The Hawks are not superior. They're better, but they're not massively superior to them talent-wise. But this plus 166, watch how that adjusts. Only 2% of people are betting on Washington. Only 2%. Just think about that. Only 2% are betting on Washington. Only 2%. Let's see. Hold on. All right. 98% betting on Atlanta. That's a lot. That's a lot. The only way I see Atlanta winning this game is if they maintain these odds, because this is going to change. People are going to bet Washington, and they are at home. And 98% of people going with Atlanta. The only way Atlanta's going to win this game, they definitely got to go over 200 because Vegas is going to look to cash out that 98%, over 90 percentile. They're going to probably want minus 220, minus 230. Atlanta goes that high, easy pick. Easy pick. But Washington right now looks like the safer, Atlanta's the safer pick, but Washington right now looks like a better risk. A better risk. But Atlanta is the safer pick right now. Minus 4.5. Once again, if you want my picks, stay on the Patreon. Link is in the description and in the video. 4.5 points spread, minus 110 cost. Even across the board. The dog are the Wizards, obviously. Let's see where the money is going there. 32% going with Washington, 68% going with Atlanta. And I say in this one, lean toward the Wizards at that 32%, but this is still early. Lean toward that Wizards at that 32% at that minus 110 cost. Because as you can see, 68, almost 70% of people are betting on Atlanta. They're dominating the odds right now. People are betting heavily on Atlanta on the road. I don't know how confident I am in Atlanta on the road with Washington getting only 2% of the betting. That's dangerous. Over under, 77% going under on the betting, 59% of the money going under on the betting, and the over under is at 236.5 at minus 110 cost. And in this one, they would pretty much expect most people to go with the under. And most people are going with the under. So even since it's early, that is a high over under. And they are getting 4 to 1% over. I would say join the public once again, only for that reason. Join the public only because it's 41. 41 is still relatively high. But I say join the public and go with the under in that one. All right. Next game, Portland versus Minnesota. Plus 194 for Portland. Minus 230 for Minnesota on the money line. Let's see where they started. All right. Plus 220, minus 275. Plus 220, minus 275. Opening. Few hours ago, plus 190, minus 220. Now, I don't refresh this page on purpose because I want to see where the odds adjust on FanDuel versus OddsShark versus the opening odds, and that's why I do this. Plus 220 for Portland, minus 275 for Minnesota. Plus 190 for Portland, minus 220 for Minnesota. Currently. But, as you can see, Portland has gone down from plus 220 to plus 194. And Minnesota has gone from minus 275 to minus 230. Let's see where the money is going in this one. Let me scroll down a bit. All right, 79% going with Minnesota. 21% going with Portland. Let's see where. All right, plus 6, minus 112. Minus 6, minus 108 on the spread. All right, minus 230 is getting 79% of the betting. If these odds increase, which I think this may go up, this 79% probably going to go to 80 percentile by the time the game starts. I don't think people are going to look to take that risk on Portland against Minnesota on the road. So I think they're going to go over 80%. If they go up at all from this 230, that's an easy pick. Minus 230, that's still relatively high, still valuable to the sports books. So just keep that in mind. Over under 216.5, minus 110 cost. Even. And the Trailblazers are getting that minus 112 sweet spot, that plus 6 on the spread. Now, all right, Portland is getting 56% of the money on the spread. 56%. 45% of the money is going with Minnesota. 56% of the money on the spread going with Portland. 45% going with Minnesota. All right. Not a sizable difference for Portland in this one. 56%, 45% here. I would go with whoever you pick in this game, even though a 6-point differential. I would go with whoever you pick on the money line. I would go with on the spread. So if you go with Minnesota, go with Minnesota. Over unders at 92%, 86% of the money going with the over. Over is getting 92% of the betting, 86% of the money going with the over. People betting heavily on the over, 216.5 here. Vegas may okie doke you in one of these games where they have such in modern days they have such a low total. I would take that opportunity and go with the under. In this one. Now they mainly do that with those East teams, but it happens with the West as well. I would go with the under. That's a sizable amount at 86%. And it may just increase based off how. Now, if the odds increase to 219, something like that, they're trying to entice you to go under, then you would join the public and go over. That's basically what I'm trying to say. If it goes to around 218, 219, go with the over. Right as it currently stands, around 217, 216, 215, go with the under. Because they okie doke people with that all the time, especially in the NBA on these over-unders. Just keep that in mind. Golden State versus Chicago. Minus 260 for Golden State, plus 215 for Chicago. Where did they start? Minus 227, plus 190. Minus 227 for Golden State, plus 190 for Chicago. Now they're at minus 260, plus 215. Both have gone up in their respective directions. All right, 92% going with Golden State. I say Golden State is the safe pick, and they would be the safe pick as it goes forward. They have gone up in value to Vegas, to the powers that be, and they look like a safe pick on these odds as long as they continue to go up. This is probably going to decrease to around 85, 82%, maybe even 80%. I don't think it's going lower than 80. But by the time the tip off, this is still early in the day. But this 92% of the money going in Golden State's favor is legit. And I think as long as Golden State hovers around more than where they started, they are a safe pick in this one. Now, a few hours ago, they were minus 240. They did decrease by 10, but that can change throughout the day. Chicago was plus 210 right here. That is a sweet spot for a dog in the NBA. Plus 210. And plus 215 currently for Chicago. So, and they did increase in value. Now, this minus 260 came from minus 240. I would say Golden State is safe in this one. They keep going up in value to the sports books. Go with Golden State. Spread is at 6.5 points, favoring Golden State at minus 110 cost even. Money is going with Golden State, obviously. 56% of the money going with them. Not a sizable difference. But I'll say Golden State would be a team you wouldn't want to pick on the spread in this one, but you would want to pick them on the money line. I would go with Chicago Bulls to not allow Golden State to cover that spread at home. And that's only because they're at home. Over unders 235.5 minus 110 cost even. 87% going over. 84% going over. 84% of the betting, 87% of the money going over. And where was it? Hold on. All right, 235. 235 and a half. All right. 235 and a half at minus 110 cost. Still where it is, minus 110 cost. I say join the public and go with the over. Because I feel this under is going to be. And Chicago puts up a lot of points regularly. So, yeah. This is going to change. This is probably going to go around 20%, 18%. Leaving Golden State, leaving the over, at 82%, 80%. So just keep that in mind. Go with the over, join the public. Next game is the Oklahoma City Memphis game. Minus 138 for Oklahoma City. Favored on the money line. Plus 118 for Memphis at home. Underdog. 2-point spread. Not a sizable spread. Somewhat of a pick'em game. Not a pick'em game, but somewhat of it. A step or a step and a half above it. Let's see where we started. Minus 150 for Oklahoma City. Plus 125. Minus 150 for Oklahoma City. Plus 125 for Memphis. All right, minus 150, plus 125. Both have gone down in their respective directions. Let's see why. The minus 150 is a sweet spot, as I told you. All right, 66% of the money going with Oklahoma City. 35% going with Memphis. If this goes up, if their money goes up to around 70%, now they're decreasing in value. If Memphis, and I think Memphis has increased in their percentages in money. They went up from 28 to 35 earlier. Now they're 35. They were at 28% of the money, that is. If Memphis goes up in value, well, as long as both teams decrease. Both teams are decreasing. When you see that trend of both teams decreasing, and they just go down, 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 look out for the dog in this one. Look out for the dog, because why would Vegas need to do this as long as Oklahoma City's winning money? I would go with Memphis at home. And whoever you go with on the money line, you would go with on the spread. Memphis looks like a safe pick, but that is only because they decreased. This is still early in the day. They go back toward that minus 150. Oklahoma City's winning this one across the board. As it currently stands, I'm going with Memphis. But watch out for how these odds adjust. As long as they both continue to decrease while Memphis goes up in money, that Memphis is an easy pick at home. But watch how the odds adjust. Just what I told you. Over under 242.5 minus 110 cost. Let me see. 74% and 76% going over. 74% of the betting going over, 76% going over on the money. 26% of the betting and 24%. I would definitely I would fade the public in this one. I would fade the public and go with the under. I would go with the under. They're getting enough money to make it an under. So I would fade the public, go with that under 24%. Let's go to the next one. Probably the last one, or there's about two more. Hold on. And that Laker game. Okay, that Laker game is the 25th. They keep that out there because of that Luka trade. But yeah, okay. Boston versus New York. Minus 146 for Boston. Plus 124 for New York. Minus 146 at 90% of the betting. I would, hold on, where did they start? Minus 120, plus 100. Let's just go down to the rest of the games today. All right. Minus 120, they started at. Now they're at minus 146, plus 124. More money going in Boston's favor. So that makes sense. 90% going in Boston's favor. 124 New York Knicks at home. All right. And I'm going to peep the spread real quick. 76%, 75% of the betting. All right. 90% going with Boston. Now that has increased from about 80%, about 10% past couple hours. If you see Boston, they're probably not going to go up from here. People going to put, the sharps are probably definitely going to put money on New York, with being such a low percentage. And they're probably going to trap you into that just to get a payday. I would definitely, and look out for that minus 150 sweet spot as well. I would go with Boston currently. Go with them on the spread as well. That minus 2.5 at that minus 112 sweet spot, over under 232. I would, let's see. A lot of people expecting that to be a high scoring game. They're going to play with people like they always do. But I would 232. I would join the public and go with the over. They're going to teeter around that probably about 115. Each team going to score about 118 to 114 or something like that. I would go over. In this one. Just to go over in this one. They're going to play with people in this game because it's two elite teams going at it. But yeah, Denver versus Phoenix. Minus 176 currently. Plus 148 for Phoenix. Minus 176 for the Nuggets. Let's see where the money is going. Well, let's see where they started. Minus 162, and you see they're going up from this minus 170 currently. But they started out at minus 162 to plus 135, plus 150 for Phoenix. And they're going up in value. Okay. Denver continues to go up in value. And they're at that minus 112 sweet spot, minus 4% out. But I expect this game to be very close. Let's see where the money is going, though. Let's go down a little bit. Maybe we'll go all the way down. All right. They have no odds currently for this game. They have no splits, for this game. So that's cool. That's fine. 86% of the money going with the Denver Nuggets in this one. 86%, 81% of the betting going with the Nuggets on the spread. As I said, Nuggets keep going up in value. I think they're an easy pick. They're above that minus 150. So I will go with the Nuggets across the board on the road in this one. Although Phoenix is enticing with this spread. Phoenix may be enticing with that spread. 86% is a lot to bet on. Pretty much teams that they're not dominant over Phoenix. But I would pick Denver on the money line for sure. I would probably end up going with Phoenix eventually on the spread. But as it currently stands, I'm going with the Nuggets. Only as it currently stands. Over under 237.5. You got to go with the over. You got to join the public, go with the over in that one. All right, New Orleans versus Sacramento. Plus 220 for New Orleans, minus 270 for Sacramento. Plus 220 for New Orleans, minus 270 for Sacramento. All right, where'd they start? Plus 230, they've gone down. Even from this plus 240 where they currently were a couple hours ago. They opened at plus 230. Minus 286. Minus 285 currently. They started out at minus 286. So they've gone down slightly, not a major thing. Mainly because people are probably going to bet heavily on them in this one. Now, this is a game where I would consider taking the risk and go with the dog. Go with the Pelicans in this one. Just take the risk. Sacramento made that trade recently with San Antonio recently, and I think all these players are finally starting to get into their groove, starting to see floor time. This is the week upcoming where you're really going to start to see it. But yeah, Sacramento at home, they are decreasing in value. That's the only reason why I would say go with New Orleans. The only reason I say go with New Orleans on the spread. But yeah, as it currently stands, over under 237, just like the last game. And that is 79% of the over, 21% of the under. 79% of the over, 237 and a half. I would go with the under in this game. I would go with the under. All right, Utah versus LA Clippers. Clippers are a sizable minus 1150 as a massive favorite to plus 730. Utah Jazz, 15-point spread at minus 110 cost even. Let's see where they started though. All right, minus 950 for the LA Clippers, plus 670 currently for the Utah Jazz. Now they started out at minus 820, plus 570. So Clippers were a massive favorite then. They're even more of a favorite now. And let's see why. All right, 90% of people betting on the Clippers in this one. Safe pick there, but why pick this game at all? If you're gonna go with the Clippers, why pick that game at all? You know, unless you're gonna parlay it with something else, which is what you should do. Parlay it with something else. Spread 15, gone down from 15.5 to 15. Of course, that's going to fluctuate throughout the day. People betting heavily on the Utah, 75%. I would say if the Clippers are going to win this game, they're going to cover the spread. If you're going to go with the Clippers, they're going to cover that spread. 15 points. They're going to cover that spread. If you're going to go with Utah on the spread, go with Utah on the money line as well. In fact, I say Utah may be a dangerous pick on the money line here. Might get you some money. You don't have to bet that much either. I would say recommend you take a risk. But Clippers across the board, over under 224.5. 96% of the money going over. 94% of the betting going over. People expecting it to be a much higher scoring game than what most would expect. Let's see. Now, sometimes you have to look at is this game going to be televised nationally to a national audience, and it's the weekend, and it's the last game, and the Lakers played early in the day, so they don't have to fight with them for views. And that's the only reason why I would say join the public and go with the over. They're going to put on a show and be a high scoring game. Otherwise, I would recommend you going under. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. I've been Scott. Pray every day. Join the Patreon. Link is in the description and in the video. You guys take care. I'll see you guys in the next one.